Hello, everyone. Welcome to part two. Without any further ado, let's get into it. Let's talk about the story. The story begins when Niao Niao's parents, who are generals, come back from the war after they had left her at her grandma and her uncle's wife's care, who mistreated her really badly. So she has learned to be kind of sneaky, scheming, and manipulative in order to survive in the toxic environment of their household. And when her parents come back, they come to realize that Niao Niao wasn't taught a lot of things that she should have been taught, and she's not a sweet little innocent girl, even though she acts like it in order to get her way. I'm making her sound like a villain. She's not a villain. She's kind of cool. We love, we stand. But her mom, she doesn't like that, and she's very strict. And at the beginning of the show, we see Niao Niao struggle with the different family dynamics that have come to play ever since her parents have returned from the war. Honestly, the beginning just lacks any romantic and stuff like that. And if you're a romance loving girly, you might feel discouraged to continue to watch this series because of the lack of romance and the concentration on family drama. But hold on, you guys, we're gonna get there slowly but surely. So this was our female lead. Our male lead is Ling Bui. He's a fearsome general and he has a very cold exterior. And because he's a man of not many words, most people, including Niao Niao, have this misconception that he's cruel. I mean, he's kind of cruel, but also he's a military general. It's not rainbows and butterflies in war. But he's a typical, oh, I'm cold to others, but I'm like super warm and kind to you only type of character. And the story revolves around these two characters and their interactions and relationships and their lives in general. I keep talking about my past video, but in the Love Between Fairy and Devil, I told you that I'm starting to understand Chinese dramas better. I can keep up with them, and it is my personal breakthrough. And I'm here to gladly announce that I could keep up with the story of this show. Go me! When I first started watching Chinese dramas, which were historical or, were wuxia or xiangxia, I would get so confused just by the names. I would be like, why do you have so many names? And now, you guys, I get it. And it only took me 2 years. Am I a genius or what? I'm not gonna spoil anything, at least not in my opinion, but if you want everything to be a full surprise to you, maybe skip. One of the things that I mentioned before was how long the family situation, the family drama took at the beginning of this drama. And you guys, it took so long for them to fully acknowledge and reciprocate each other's love. Ling Bui, that boy, he was simping, but from afar. And then he acknowledged his feelings first, but it took Niao Niao such a long time to be like 100% with him. At some point, I was like, if you're not gonna take him, I will. Okay, I'm sorry for the audio change, but I kind of had to switch places, so this is gonna be a little different. I talked about how it took them so long to get together, but I think the story, it was interesting enough that it wasn't boring with the lack of romance. I mean, don't get me wrong, there was romance, but they weren't like fully there. You know what I mean? And I thought it was really cool to do something like that and be able to keep something interesting without heavily relying on romance. I also really like the comedy. There were some intense scenes, but the comedy was comedying, you guys. It was actually funny. Was it great, top-notch, crazy satire type of thing? No, but it was fun. And we love fun. I also love Niao Niao as a character. She wasn't a damsel in distress. She was smart, she was cunning, and she knew how to get her way. A true girl boss in the best way possible. Xiao Langhua, she could never. I mean, she was privileged in the way that she was rich and she was from a very well-respected family and she was gorgeous, obviously. So I think she kind of had the upper hand, compared to Xiao Lanhua, but is still a girl boss nonetheless. I really loved her character and how we saw her grow and understand her past mistakes and learn from them. And she finally became a person that wasn't reliant on anyone. I was like, you go, girl. I feel like the growth that Niao Niao experienced caused her to outgrow the influence of her family and even Lin Buyi, and she became a person of her own. At the beginning of the show, she looked at marriage as her way out, and she didn't consider it really deeply. She just wanted to be free of the whole family situation and her mother's watchful eye, and her rocky relationship with her grandma, who constantly put male heirs of the family above her and didn't really care for her. But as time went by and by the love that she received from Lin Buyi, she came to understand the importance of her freedom and her individuality, while understanding the importance of having a family and a community of some sort. It was also very heartwarming to see that she had this support group in addition to adversaries and enemies and rivals. I feel like in TV shows, sometimes they just go overboard with mean characters, and it feels like the whole world is out to get the protagonist, and they have no one there for them except the male lead, who is the knight in shining armor. So it was good to see a mix of bad and good characters, and the bad didn't necessarily fully outweigh the good. And I really liked her relationship with the queen who looked out for her, and how staying with the queen, who was like a mother figure to her, caused her to have a better relationship with her own biological mother. And this growth allowed her to understand her mom and her family better and stop resenting them for leaving her behind. The other dynamic that I found really interesting was the queen's and the king's relationship, and the king's relationship with Lin Buyi. He was actually a decent king. I'm shocked, because in dramas, kings are either really great or they're just straight up awful. This one was actually kind of fun. Vain and nosy because he's the king, but kind of fun. And his dynamic with the queen and the concubine, I think, was quite interesting to watch. I know they were technically forced into it, but it felt like a functioning open marriage where all the parties involved understood what their role was and they accepted it. There were moments of doubt and grief and stabs of jealousy, but nothing with pure malice. I'm not trying to spoil anything, but I think the way that they went about it was super mature and very modern. I'm referring to what the three of them decided to do for the sake of the country. The big plot twist towards the end, I kind of saw it coming in the episodes leading up to it. I think they kind of went overboard with sharing information so you could guess it, but I still liked the big reveal and I thought it was interesting. Up until this point, I've said mostly good things about this series, but one of the things that I didn't like was how it was kind of like reverse harem. Like every guy was kind of in love with her, and I kind of don't enjoy that in series and stuff. Like I want one ship and that's it. I don't like rivalries in love and stuff, but this show's wasn't too bad, so I think I can look past it. I didn't like it, but it was okay. I'm not that pressed about it. I'm actually kind of curious to read the novel that this was based on. I'm gonna look up the author and see if anything that I've written has been translated. Okay everyone, this was it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know what you think down in the comment section, and like, share, and subscribe if you want to. No pressure. Have a lovely rest of your day, and bye bye.